These days it is common to use concentric needle electrodes for measuring, quote, jitter. Do you have a criteria on amplitude for accepting spikes for jitter analysis in concentric needle EMG recordings?
Actually, the answer is no. It is also no for single fiber EMG. But on the other hand, if we have too low amplitudes, the signal in relation to the noise that is inherent in machine and everything the signal is very much disturbed by the existing noise, so it does not fulfill other criteria of signals being parallel in the rise time and so on. So when the signal is low, we don't accept. It should be good, sharp spike, fast rise time. That is the only thing I can say.
Can I use a monopolar needle for jitter analysis? And if so, what are the criteria for accepting potentials for analysis?
Well, you can use monopolar needles for just about anything, but it's not advisable to do so. I think accepting the use of concentric needle electrodes for jitter recordings is about as far as one ought to go. And I don't think there are any practical reasons for not using small concentric needles for jitter analysis. The problem with using monopolar needles is that it just compounds the difficulty in identifying spikes that are likely to be coming from single muscle fibers. And I don't think that that one really needs to use them. Therefore, I would discourage their use.
Can I use concentric needle electrodes for stimulated single fiber EMG analysis?
Well, concentric needle electrodes will record spikes which may appear like single fiber action potential, but they actually contain more than one fiber. There is always some uncertainty about this. And when we use this in conjunction with stimulation, the danger of having even more fibers is increased, because they tend to be synchronous with the stimulation. So, at least in large muscles, I would certainly not advise to use concentric needle for jitter measurement. Perhaps the situation is slightly different in the face, because the facial muscles have action potentials, single fiber action potentials, which are shorter in duration and are more separated in time. So it is presumably more easy to isolate with some degree of reliability single muscle fiber action potentials and make measurements which are satisfactory. Although I would expect that the normal material or normal range would be slightly different compared to that obtained with single fiber needles.